Looks like our tax dollars are making one group in America more optimistic for the new year. A new poll shows 46% of government employees believe the economy is getting better. But the numbers have flipped for folks who are working in the private sector. 49% think things are worse out there. And that has Patricia Powell flipping out. Hide for cover.
Well, Charles, I got to tell you first, my comments are not going to be made towards the military, the government workers who protect us all.
So you got an asterisk next to it.
So I've got a little asterisk next to it, okay. But what I want to talk about is these government workers, of course they're thrilled. The good times are rolling. You know, the Treasury doors have been opened up to the barbarian hordes here. We've got if you look at the salaries, 100,000 plus incomes in the government workers, that group has grown by 50% in the last 2 years during a period where we have been losing jobs like crazy in this country. If you look at the rate of growth of government pay, it has been growing at twice the rate of the overall economy. Of course they're having a wonderful time, and they're having a wonderful time on your dime.
Federal spending is what, 28% of GDP? It's the highest it's been since we were fighting World War II. And the money is rolling in, and it's impossible to get fired.
But how's money rolling in when the country's in a recession? There's no tax receipts. Where's the money coming from to pay these people?
It will come. It will come, and it's borrowed. We're borrowing it from our buddies overseas. And
you know, Adam, this is what I wanted to ask you. One of the big mantras coming into the year was shared sacrifice. We're all in this together. What the heck is going on with this thing? I mean, this government is getting so big, like we're building up for a war, but a war against who?
Well, I think that our premise here is a cheap shot against government workers. And Patricia, I love you. You can take the military and the police people who protect us out of your thoughts, but they are included in the survey because they are government workers. The government does good things.
But
I mean, this is like asking people on the beach.
These guys are making so much money. They're making money. The government's getting larger, while the people who actually pay their salaries are suffering.
You know, they're not getting rich, and you know that as well as I do. They're doing jobs. They are employed. It's no surprise that they'd be optimistic because we know. I mean, it's a fact that the money is flowing into the government sector right now because we've been spending that money purposefully to try to stimulate the economy. You know, again, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I wouldn't pick on government workers for being optimistic because their jobs are secure when they're doing good jobs.
On them for being optimistic. But what I'm saying to you is, aside from the salaries, you also have to look at the fact that these people are getting pensions that are paid for by you. These have COLAs in most cases. They're unfunded, which means we're going to be paying for these pensions for a long time. A lot of promises have been made that are not necessarily funded to be fulfilled. They're getting 100% in many cases health care. No wonder the average guy is having trouble saving for his own retirement. He's having trouble paying for his health care.
Very important question. Gary Kay. Hold Adam, let's bring Gary into it.
Yes. First off, whatever coffee Pat's drinking, please send some my way. Look,
you wouldn't say that if you were sitting next to her.
I'm so sorry.
Look, there's no cheap shots here. There's statistics, and we're talking about the military. But I have civilian Defense Department employees earning $150,000 or more. Went from 1,800 up to 10,000 in the 2 years, 07 to 09, during the recession. Same thing for the Transportation Department. I have been saying for 2 years now, this government, there is absolutely no accountability. They are unchecked. They are spending money that's not theirs. They are basically castrating the taxpayer. And the only way we can change this is in the elections to tell these people enough is enough. I don't mind government workers making money, but not the average making $71,000 while private workers make $41,000.
That's the rub. That's the rub, right?
The broader issue is, what is the best use of our dollars? Do you want the government to take it from you, or in the interim, borrow it from someone overseas and write an IOU and dole it out through this giant bureaucracy, which is clearly ineffective, or let the private market decide where the money goes?
Just remember,
and grow companies, again, that make us proud.
Our corporate
all this money that... All this money that goes into government gets sucked out of the private economy. Absolutely. And the last I look at is the private economy that creates jobs for the long term, not the government.
So now we're on some slippery slope here, Patricia.
That's not true.
Go ahead, Adam.
You act
Not
as if
true.
the money goes into some. You act as if the money goes into some black hole and never comes out. I mean, last I checked, government workers go to restaurants, they buy clothing, they take vacations. These are people who work for a living. They do jobs that we've asked them to do. And Patricia, I just want to ask you, whose pension would you take away? Which pension would you advocate that we not pay?
You know what? I would advocate that we all take care of ourselves. That the average guy out there who's watching this show today and has trouble putting $2,000 into an IRA, stop paying into somebody else's pension plan but takes care of his own family. I would advocate that
Many
people
of
who
whom may work for some government
agency. I would advocate that people who don't have the ability to buy their own health care, instead of paying taxes for people who are getting their health care for free, that
You are
those
on
people would
fire.
have that money if we didn't pick their pockets.
Dagan, final word to you on this. You're the voice of reason. I mean, beside it being unfair, is this a
That's
slippery...
the voice of reason. She's just passionate.
But really, besides this seeming so unfair to the numbers that Gary pointed out, 71,000 versus 41,000, is this creating some sort of economic danger, too, for the economy?
Yes, if you are not getting what people are producing in terms of their pay, do you get what you're paying for? And again, are we a better society if all the money and control is in the hands of government, or whether you let the people decide and the private market
It's not
decide
all. It's
the
a cheap
best
shot.
way
We'll leave
to
it there.
spend that
Well
money?
said.
We'll leave it there, guys. We'll leave it there, okay?